am I in a dream? I mean, is this a nightmare or is this really happening?
Sadly, it's really happening.
I couldn't have imagined anything worse. I mean, how on earth a new Prime Minister and, you know, and in many ways an exciting new Chancellor could have made such a mess of it? And they made a mess of it by failing to understand anything other than their own thought processes. I mean, Kwasi Kwarteng, everyone tells me, is one of the brightest men around. But I guess when you have to deal with a mega brain like that, you don't really have time to think about what other people are thinking. You know, someone once said to me, politicians should be pretty second-rate people because then they're interested in the public. I mean, I never had enough time. But my own brain was never a big problem to me, so I had to think about what other people were thinking. But I mean, to be serious for a moment, this is a disaster for the Conservative Party, because once you lose your reputation for being able to get the economics right, you never recover from it. I mean, I was a member of a government when, through no fault actually of John Major's, we came out of the exchange rate mechanism. Don't ask me what the exchange rate mechanism is.
That's a long time ago.
But, you know, but that was 1992. He just won an election. And although then, over the next 5 years, the economy recovered very well, Kenneth Clarke was an extremely good Chancellor, the public never forgave him. And I was one of those who lost my seat in 1997. And 1997, the Tory party lost more than half of the seats they held. So while I'm a long way from believing that the opinion polls today are telling us anything other than what people thought yesterday, the reality is that the Conservative Party could be driven out of office, and not just driven out of office, humiliatingly defeated, because the public are not. It's you know, Chris Patton once said to me, at certain points in politicians' careers, a photograph is taken, and that photograph remains in the album forever. The photograph of Kwasi Kwarteng and Liz Truss are people who thought that it was very clever to cut the taxation of the richest, but not to do it because the country was getting a reward, as happened in the Thatcher years, for having saved public expenditure, but just borrowing more money. And you think, what are these people on? So I think it's a serious situation. And I mean, I'm not one of those people who comes on and starts calling for people's heads, because I had to go through a lot of years when people were busy calling for mine. But I can't see how Kwarteng can recover from this.